it just draws up so many emotions in me. I get angry, frustrated, sad, and I have so many unanswered questions. I almost feel like I failed her. So on October 20th, I received a phone call at 5 a.m. from Lecia asking me, do I want to see my goddaughter? And I'm like, at 5 in the morning? Oh, all right, well, just give me a second, I found that the time was weird, but I did start getting dressed to go. After I get dressed, I walked out my door. She lives right across from me. So from where I was standing, I can see the police officers and their car in the middle of the parking lot. So I start running towards her home. When I get there and pull the screen door open, I'm concerned. I'm asking them, what are you guys doing here? Because Lecia is not there. And she just called me to ask me, did I want to see my goddaughter? So I asked the police officer what's going on, and they told me that my goddaughter had passed away. So then I called Lecia on the phone to find out what the heck is going on. Because in my mind, she's asking me, do I want to see my goddaughter? I wouldn't expect that she was asking me to see my goddaughter dead. So she tells me, yes, that's what I was trying to tell you. I just didn't want to tell you over the phone. So I get a ride from a neighbor to the hospital. We stepped out of the room and we both were distraught and crying over, the death of the baby. And I asked her what happened. She said she came downstairs, she found the baby in the bouncy chair, and she just had died, like as if it was just a freak accident. And it just didn't sit right with me. What do you mean you found your baby in the bouncy chair? Where were you? And then from the time frame that she gave me just didn't add up. And that's all she told me. So I was grieving, I let it go. And I want to say maybe around a week into the death of the baby, I was at Lecia's apartment and we were talking. And she asked me, if she could tell me something, it's bothering her. I said, what is it? And she said, I didn't find the baby in the chair. I said, what? I said, what? I said, what do you mean? She said, and she got up and she walked over to the sofa and said she was here. I said, how? She said, face down. I said, well, how did she get there? Who put her there? You told me your last recollection of the baby was in the bouncy chair. So she said, well, I didn't know how to tell you. I didn't know how to tell you. I was afraid of other people, knowing. And I said, well, so you told the officers to take the chair for what reason? So when she told me that story, I became angry. I was hurt. I cried over and over in front of her, begging for some emotions out of my friend. For the life of me, you just lost your 5-week-old baby. What is wrong with you? So at that point, I realized she lied to the police. She lied to me. This was very upsetting for me. Instead of, being emotional, she was laughing it off and saying to me that it was just God's will that she's okay. No breakdown. I'm waiting for this woman to call me one day and say, please, come to my home. I need you. And I want to find her on her hands and knees bawling, and I'm not getting that. So she left, went upstairs with her 2-year-old to put her to bed, and neglectfully left her 5-week-old downstairs with 2 minor children under the age of 9. It's unacceptable for me. I am angry, I am hurt, I am upset, and I want answers, and she's got to answer me today.
That's a crock of crap, for starters, Steve. To clear all of that up, one of my other children took her out of her seat and put her on the couch with her. I did go upstairs. I didn't know it was against the law or neglectful to leave children in one room of your house while you're in another room. I was never told this. I went to put my 2-year-old to sleep. I have to lay with her because she will not go to sleep on her own, and I did not intend on falling asleep. A natural occurrence occurred, and I fell asleep. I woke up, I went downstairs, and as I turned into the living room, the baby was on the sofa with my other child. Apparently what she did was pick her up, She wanted to hold her all that night. She fell asleep. The reason why I lied or I withheld the information, the police asked me, where was she? I said her seat. At some point, she was in her seat. I didn't want to tell them right then and there because I do not want them questioning my young child, because that's not a cross that she needs to bear in life. It was nobody's business. She or anybody else cannot say how I should take care of my children and what I should tell anybody. They're not taking care of my children, and let alone telling me how to mourn. How dare someone tell me because I didn't cry, I'm wrong?
That night, were you under any type of influence?
I smoked a blunt, maybe.
You smoked marijuana?
Yeah.
Is it smart to do drugs while you're watching children?
No.
No. Now, there was an investigation, right?
Yes.
And what happened with that investigation?
Nothing came of it. They said
So
there
you're not being charged with a crime?
No, they said there was no foul play.
CPS didn't find any neglect at all?
No, they closed the case.
So they didn't have any problem with 2 children under 9 watching a 5-year-old?
They weren't watching her.
Well, who was watching her?
She was asleep.
Well, but there's a 5-year-old downstairs, right?
5-week-old.
5-week-old.
Yes.
Alone.
They were downstairs.
Well, I'm
Again,
saying,
we were all in the same. We were
okay,
in the
so
same
somebody's
home.
got to watch a 5-week-old, right?
And we were in the same home. I can't keep my eyes on her 24 hours a day. We were all in the same home.
Okay. But if you're not putting her in the bassinet or the playpen, somebody has to be watching her.
I didn't know that. I wasn't
Okay.
aware.
See, hold
but
on.
I wasn't aware that
Okay.
she can. That's what these seats
But
are
see,
designed for them to sit
listen,
in their seat.
not-
They're
not
designed
for 5
them
hours.
to sit. But I fell asleep. I
Okay.
didn't intend to
Okay.
go to sleep.
You felt a little guilty about something because you did lie to the police, right?
No, I didn't want them to know that my
You
child
lied to the
had-
police.
I did, yes. And I didn't want them to know that my child had her on the couch because I didn't want them to question
So
her.
the child took, see, that's why you can't leave the children alone.
Okay,
Were you ever involved with CPS before?
yes.
For what?
I went to drop one of my children off at school, and the other one was in the house, and the police said she was alone.
How the
was
child at home,
upstairs.
alone?
She was 2. She wasn't alone.
Who was with her? Did you get a case because of this? You know, did you catch a case with CPS?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not comfortable sitting down anymore. Let's stand up. Come on.
You're not comfortable.
I'm not, and it's my
All right,
show.
you're not comfortable,
And it's
so
my
you
sh- and
can,
it's-
but why do
and
I
it's
have
my
to
show.
stand? Why do
Because
I
it's
have
my-
to stand?
Because it's my show.
But why should I stand? I'm
Because I
comfortable,
want you to stand,
but I'm
that's
comfortable.
why. Well, I don't want you to be comfortable.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there you go. You left the 2-year-old alone and you went and you drove somewhere.
No, she wasn't alone. Was right upstairs with the video monitor.
No, that's not the case.
Yeah, it was. You should have had them test me on that.
Well, I don't have to because we have paperwork about it.
Okay.
Lecia, you came and took a lie detector test, and we asked you, on the night that your daughter died, did you find her face down on the couch? You said yes, you told the truth. On the night of that your daughter died, did you smoke a blunt or less of marijuana? A blunt is a lot. You said yes, you told the truth. Okay. On the night that your daughter died, did you leave your home at any time between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m.? You said no. You told the truth. You were sleeping. On the night that your daughter died, did you go upstairs with the intention of going to sleep? You said no. You told the truth. Did you ever physically abuse any of your children? You said yes. And
Yeah, I give them beatings. Who doesn't? So don't even sit there and act like it's so horrible.
I
Well,
don't.
that's you, yeah. The little handful that raised their hands. Y'all know y'all.
Lecia confessed to beating her children with belts. The children would hide her belts so she would use hangers instead to beat them.
Now that's something I never did to him. So go ahead, ask me.
She also confessed to hanging one of her children upside down by the ankles and spanking their behind. You cleared your name. But as far as I'm concerned, you're a mother. And I advise
Or your
anybody
pets.
that knows you not to let you ever watch any child.
I wouldn't want to.
And you should
I
stop
wouldn't
having
want
children
to.
too, by the way. You want answers, you got answers. Now get the hell off my stage. I'm sorry for your loss, and I hope that Lecia grows up at some point and takes good care of her children.
Thank you.
Good luck.
I was raped.
My name is Steve Wilkos, and I'm an investigative talk show host with a law enforcement background.
It was my life or his.
My job is to get truth and justice for everyday people. Watch our videos now.